use the same link. Okay, for the online meeting. All right, let's look at the review test 1. Okay, so this is test 1 review. Find the slope for the line containing this given point. So first, you have to have a slope formula. Slope formula is using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right. And what does this one mean? This is a function notation. So f3 equal to 4. So that means the first point here is when x equal to 3, y is 4. So this will be x1, y1. Okay. And f of 9 equal to -3. That means this is another point when x equal to 9. All right, y is -3, so this will be x2, y2. All right, and then you just plug it in. Y2 here is -3 minus y1 here is 4. And then x2 here is 9 minus 3, and then we simplify that. Okay, so this will be negative 7, right, over 6. Or you can write down -7 over 6. Okay, so that is your slope. When a slope will be undefined, well, if you have a number divided by 0, that is undefined. Okay, we call this one is a null. NO is a null. All right, because it's undefined. If you have a number divided by a 0, if you have a 0 divided by a number, that is 0. So we call this one is okay. All right, remember these two words is very important, right? One is okay, one is no. When you have a 0 on the numerator, denominator is non-zero, that's okay, because that's equal to 0. All right, but when you have a 1 divided by 0, that is undefined, so this one is a no. Questions? All right, so this one you do have a slope, right? Slope is -7 over 6. So it's not undefined in here. All right. Okay, second one here, you need to solve for y. All right, how do I solve for y here? I have a 3 over 5 y minus 2 equal to 1/2, right? So we're going to solve for y in here. Solve for y, that means I need to have a y equal to something. Solve for 1y, right? And then we're going to add a 2 on both sides. Okay, so before we even add this fraction, if you do not like a fraction, you can multiply the LCD on both sides, get rid of fraction. Okay, so that will be easier. So what is the LCD for this one? This common denominator. I have a 5, I have a 2, they don't have anything in common, so I multiply these two together, will be 10. So if I multiply both sides by 10, I will get rid of denominator. Okay, so 10 times 3 over 5y minus 2 times 10 equal to 1/2 times 10. Remember, everyone need to times 10. All right, and when you have everyone times 10, that's still equal. And then this can be cancelled out. 5 and 10. 10 divided by 5, you got 2, right? So 2 times 3, you got 6y minus 20. And then this cancel out, so you got 5. All right, so now it will be really easy. Okay, we plus 20 on both sides. So we have a 6y, this cancel out, 6y equal to 25, right? And then you divide by both sides by 6. So y will be 25 over 6. All right, so there's no common factor here, so this is the lowest term, right? If it's 24 over 6, now you need to simplify, right? But this one is 25, so that is your final answer in here. Okay, number 3. Okay, number 3 here is determine the interval on which function is increasing, decreasing, or constant. Alright, so if you look at this one right here, going up is increasing, right? Stay the same is constant, and then then going down is decreasing. Okay, but you need to write down the interval is the x interval. Increasing or decreasing, you look at the y value, but when you write down the interval, you have to write down the x interval. Alright, so how do we write down the x interval in here? So number 3, increasing interval. Increasing, so I look at the x. X here is from -4, right? And also from the increasing, decreasing, we always using open interval, okay? This one is very important. For the increasing, decreasing, constant interval, we always using open one. So that means we only look at anything in between, not include the endpoint, all right? So this increasing one will be from x is -4, right? -4 up to x will be what? How much is x here? 2. So that's the increasing one. Okay, decreasing, all right? So this is decreasing. Decreasing here, you will be, this one right here is 3. 3 to what? Okay, I'm gonna move this a little bit in here. All right, so this move up here, x will be 3, right? 3 to 5 is decreasing. 3 to 5. All right, so all use the parentheses for the increasing or decreasing. And which one is a constant? Constant, that means stay the same, right? So this horizontal piece is a constant. So this constant here is from 2 to 3. 2 to 3. All right, so that is your interval in here. This is your interval notation, right? I just explained what is the interval earlier. Any questions? Okay, look at this one right here. This is a little bit application. So this is in the, you can see this is chapter 2, section 1 in here, okay? Rick's number yards has 540 yards of fencing, which to enclose a rectangular area. If the enclosed area is x yard long, express its area as a function of its length. All right, so yeah, in math we do have an application. So first you have to understand 2 formula for this one. Okay, when it's a rectangle, that means length and width. This one is perpendicular. All right, it's a rectangle in here. You have this much yard of the fencing. Okay, so you have a basically you have a 540 material, and then you want to build this rectangle, and the area is x yard long. So x yard long. Okay, and what is the area? Well, first area here, we say area is length times what? Width for the rectangle, right? And then my length here is x. Okay, my length here is x. And what is my width? What is my w here? What is the w here? All right, so now you have to know what is 550 yard mean. What is 550? Can anyone give me an answer? What is 550? I'd like to have a chat. What is 550 mean?
Perimeter.
It's perimeter. That's exactly right. Okay, so how do you find a perimeter for the rectangle? Perimeter is the sum of all the sizes. Okay, so I have a 4 sides. The rectangle here, opposite side will be equal. Okay, so this is my L is equal to x. My length is equal to x. All right, this one right here, the length is x yard. Okay, so basically this perimeter here is 2x plus 2w equal to 540. All right, since I don't want a w in the equation, so I will need to go to solve this w in terms of x and then replace them. We substitute this one right here, right? So I have a 2x plus 2w equal to 540. I will minus 2x on both sides. Okay, and then this cancel out. So my 2w will be 540 minus 2x, and then divided by both sides by 2. So I will have a w. This one will be 270 minus x. Look at that. Divided by 2. Each one divided by 2. All right. So my area here will be x times w. W here is 270 minus x. Okay, you can leave this one as a final answer, or if you want to multiply that in, this will be 270x minus x squared. All right, so that is your area in terms of what? X in here. Okay, so that is the one you will need to be able to express the area in terms of one variable x in here. Any questions? So this one right here, you have to know the formula for the area, right? The rectangle area, which is just length times width. And then you also have to understand what a 540 yards means. This means you have this much material and you need to build a 4 sides. So this is the perimeter. All right, perimeter, you're going to have a 4 sides add up together. So in here will be 2x plus 2w. And then go to solve for w. Okay, after that, replace w in here. Substitute w with 270 minus x. And you will get this final answer. Your A here is equal to this one, or you can have this one as a final answer. Either one will be good. Probably this answer will be better, right? You multiply all of them in. Okay, so the reason I also giving you this one, at least you know how the test is gonna look like, right? At least you have a little bit impression on how the test is gonna look like. And then when you go back to study each section, it will become much better because now you understand one by one in each one. Okay. Graphing, this one is called a piecewise function because this function occupies it combines the 3 pieces, right? So this one is limit the x value on x less than or equal to -4, right? And then this will be negative x plus 1, okay? And between -4 to 3, this will be just 3. All right, so you can go to look at which one choose the correct answer, right? I'm not sure if I got all the correct answer in here because when I print out this one, just like usually have A, B, C, D, so I probably miss one question here. All right, but we're gonna pretend, okay? I'm gonna graph this one on my own. All right, so we'll graph this one on our own, and then we can go to choose the correct answer. I can do this one by hand, and then I can also do this one by the calculator, so you can compare them. Okay, so number 5, how do I graph this one? The first piece, negative x plus 1. X need to be less than or equal to 4, right? So you choose 2 points, x and y. Okay, x is less than or equal to 4, so that means I can choose -4 because it has an equal sign, right? So I can choose this one, -4, so this will be negative of -4 plus 1, right? And then this will be 5 because negative become positive. And since less than or equal to -4, this is going to the left. All right, it's going to the left. So I can choose -5. All right, so I cannot choose 0 because 0 is not in this domain. All right, so this will be -5 plus 1, so this will be 6, right? So if I just graph the first piece in here, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, 0. All right, so when this is -4 here, this will be +5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? That's 5 and 6. So this will be right here. All right, when the x is -5, this will be 6. So right here. All right, so I graph this one going to the left. All right, so that's my first piece. I cannot come all the way down in here because x is less than or equal to -4, right? And then the second piece here, second piece will be easy. Between -4 and 3, this y will be 3. So -4 to 3 it will be from here to here. This will be 3. 3 is right here. But so we're gonna have this one, 3 in here. And then this one you're gonna using the circle. The reason using the circle here because it didn't have a what? It didn't have an equal sign in this one. So you're gonna have to use the circle. All right. And then the next piece here is y is equal to 4x when x greater than or equal to 3. Alright, so graph one line, you only need 2 points, right? So I can make 2 points, x and y. X is 3. I do have a solid point, so 3 times 4 is 12. And then I will have a x equal to 4 because 4 is also greater than 3, and this will be 16, right? So now I have a graph this one in all in one. So this is 3, this will be 12, probably somewhere right here, okay? And then this 4, this will be 16. So, and then I graph this one going up. So that is how you do that by hand. All right, and then after I graph this one right here, right, and I can go to choose to see which one looks like similar to this one. All right, apparently the first one doesn't look right. This one is going down, this one going down. So I should have both going up that way. So apparently this one is wrong. Okay, is this second one correct? Well, second one looks like this one should be a solid one. Okay, because I have an equal sign. I do have an equal sign. I do have an equal sign from the -4. So this fourth piece should be a solid one. And then this horizontal one should be a circle. So this one, you know, it didn't looks like it's facing the right direction, but the point wasn't right. Okay, so this one is wrong as well. And then this one is wrong too, right? Because you can see the facing direction is not the same. So I probably missing one correct one right here. This usually have A, B, C, D, so I missed the correct one in here. But that is how the graph is supposed to look like, right? This is horizontal piece. You have a circle because you don't have an equal sign in here. And then this piece need to have a solid. This piece need to have a solid. So if I put this one with a solid, this one with a solid, change this one into circle, that will be the similar one. Okay, so I'm missing the correct answer D in here. But that's how the graph is gonna look like. Okay, if you want to do that in a calculator, I can show you how to do that in a calculator. So again, you are allowed to use the TI-8384 calculator for the test, okay? And if I have this one right here, okay, the first one is negative x plus 1, negative, the first one negative, you need to use the parentheses, right? Negative x plus 1. If I only input this one right here and graph them, what happens? You're gonna go graph all the x, okay? So if I put a condition in here using the divide, and the parentheses, and I can set up the condition that x is less than or equal to 4, right? So you're gonna have to go to the second test using this one, less than or equal to 4. So that is -4. All right. So once you this one get one more. Alright, once you put a condition right here, look at it, it stopped right here, right? So that is x less than or equal to 4, and then you know this should be a solid one. The calculator do not really show that clearly. Alright, same thing as in this one. If you graph this x equal to y equal to 3, it's gonna give you all the x value, you know. And then again, if you really want to this one stop, you can put it this one right here, just the one I did in here. Okay. So this one you're gonna have a x is greater than -4, less than 3. All right, so x greater than -4. All right, and then you need to using n because this one it doesn't graph. You need to go to the logic and then using the n in here because this one it won't graph the compound inequality. All right, so x is greater than -4 and less than 3. All right, less than 3 is number 5. Okay. All right. Oh, I put a, I don't know why it come out like a, all right. Okay, so it look right, and then we graph them. So now it will stop right there, right? So you need to have a condition in here. It will stop, okay? And then the last piece here, so where's the last piece?